the Leafs are struggling again. That's the first time since we've been going, and Sheldon Keefe's been the coach. But what are you gonna do? We'll get to them in a second. Yeah, we'll get to our stars of the week to start off.
Well, do you want to start with? No, I think you should because like
you want me to
Leafs
start?
Leafs struggles I think are a lot because of your guy. To be honest,
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
seen him twice, have they not?
Yep.
Yep.
They played the Colorado Avalanche last night, and the 2020 Hart Trophy winner, book it, Nate McKinnon was my star of the week for last week. He had they played 3 games. He had 3 goals and 6 assists en route to 3 wins. Guy's carrying that team. They finally got Mikko Rantanen back in that run, which is
they blew up
fantastic.
the Hawks that day too. Yeah.
Yeah, Rantanen had a goal, 3 assists, had a big night. I'm pretty sure McKinnon had a goal and 2 assists in that one. He was nuts. Like 3 multi-point games, just carrying that team. He's gonna be the Hart Trophy winner. Book it. That guy's unreal.
You'll call that, but fair enough.
It's tough to go against him, man. Like I know the Edmonton guys are doing what they're doing, but there's 2 of them.
Yeah, they've kind of slowed down, but I still think McDavid's always.
But there's 2 of them. That's the difference.
Okay.
McKinnon did this all alone.
He got Rantanen back though, as you said.
Now,
but
he went down for 4 or 5 weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah,
and
but then this week here though.
Yeah,
for his points now, he's helping out. Obviously, 9 points.
Yeah, he had half the week.
Yeah.
But he also had my star of the week last week, so I think I'm going back 2 weeks ago. So
I was gonna say I looked back. I was pretty sure you had him before.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna continue rocking with McKinnon because the guy's incredible.
Fair.
Who you got?
I'm gonna stick with my Boston boys. Apparently, this team's on fire, man. David Pastrnak is unreal. Every time I look, he is putting the puck in the back of the net.
Yep.
Hat trick against the Habs.
Yep.
His assist that he had in the week was the OT winner, and he scored the game tire in the 3rd period against the Rangers as well, man. And right now, like I know he didn't score his 25th goal in our week that we're doing this, but he is leading the league with 25 now. Bergeron's been out too since they played the Wild on the 23rd, and those guys they actually broke up. Last game I watched, they broke up Marchand and Pastrnak, and they're still just flying out there. Yeah, put them back on the power play together, but like I think Marchand's been paired with like Heinen, and I think passes with Krejci, and like dude, it doesn't matter. They lead their own lines still. Yeah,
they're just talented human beings.
Back-to-back weeks, man, and like I don't even think Pastrnak on either of the 3 stars, like because I get the score and NHL. I don't think he got put on either of those, and I was kind of surprised. Like I get it in a game he did nothing against Ottawa, but like you won 2-1. I think they got 22 shots all game against Ottawa, so it's like no one's doing anything.
He's big in every win they get though. Like
absolutely.
He's most of the reason.
He has like the clutch goals or the even the passing because you're so worried about his scoring. I think it was a little underrated pick.
Was his goal against Montreal in that week or was this week? Might have been this week. Absolute cannon fire from him too.
No, wasn't it again? Wasn't that when he got his hat trick when they won 8-1? That would have been the week that we're talking. Yeah, he won 8-1 against Montreal.
Maybe it wasn't Montreal. I don't know. I just remember him skating down the wing and just blasting one.
Right.
Oof.
That's how good he is right now, man. He's at that stage.
He did the whole like, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
Thing, no one to celebrate with, but I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a gem.
Do you want me to take Nick's or Max?
You can take whichever one you want. You can.
I'll take Nick's because I think Nick's kind of interesting.
Okay.
So he had Alex Ovechkin. So both the other guys wrote down things they wanted us to say, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But they're like, here, say this. But Ovi had 4 games, 5 goals, 1 assist for 6 points. He was +3 and he had a hat trick. So Nick writes out here, he goes, "Look out, Gretzky. The grade 8 is coming for the great one." I'm like, yeah, all right. He's on pace and he's got to play a few more years to do it. Yeah. But I mean, he's probably not wrong.
Yeah, fair. Sorry, I forgot. Dude, I forgot one thing about Pasta. He's on pace for 50 goals in 50 games.
Is he back on pace right now?
50 and 50, yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So, yeah, sorry, but that just reminded me. Ovi's been unreal. He's definitely making my Jeff Skinner pick look cold as hell.
Yep.
So we'll blame that to the 2 beers that day, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
You were
Blame
not
it to
thinking
that.
straight,
No,
eh?
yeah, and I definitely put a lot of faith in Buffalo, which like why would I do that? But anyways, yeah, Ovi's
Yep.
been
Yep.
same old Ovi,
Yep.
same old song and dance.
Yep.
But Washington's been hot too, man. I watched the game last night. Carlson, 2 goals right off the bat. Like
Carlson's
pretty,
still playing like a forward.
yeah, pretty sure he's gonna be
Yep.
my pick this week because like, dude, he's just always
Firing.
Yeah.
Firing. Yep. We don't vary from the teams that we pick. It's just
no, it's the
change up
players
the
that
guys.
perform. But like realistically, that's the reason why they perform. Like,
Yep.
Carlson,
having a ridiculous team helps.
absolutely
So, yeah.
having all those stars around.
Yeah.
All right. Mac had Martin Jones.
Yeah, that's the first goalie pick we've had in a while, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. So he said Jones is having his high point of the season, a stretch he has every year to push them into the playoffs. So I haven't really heard too much about San Jose.
They're getting better. They're back on the
which
decent
they kind of. I feel like they always.
Which you kind of expected, and I said it about San Jose when you guys said they're at the bottom of the league too. I'm like, yeah, but they're not a bottom of the league team. Like,
right, but dude, man, I'm like Carlson, and I think we're gonna touch on this later with another defenseman that we mentioned. But like Carlson is leaving a lot out to dry.
Yep.
Like on the defensive end, and that is hurting them. A lot of the goals that happen are like just passes across the net.
Yeah, he's still putting up points, and I think that's the thing with him. He's got 21 points. He's only got 3 goals, but 18 assists for 21 points, which is fourth on his team.
Right. No, dude, Mac was right.
So,
he was pretty legit. He won the last 4.
Yep. They're coming back.
Yeah.
They've lost
last night. Yeah, dude,
they
were on fire.
3 in their last 1, 2.
That's what I was saying, because that was also the week. So the time that the wins before that was when I picked Logan Couture, and you called me out for that. So
yep. They've lost 3 of their last 14 games, so not bad.
No,
they're pretty good.
Yeah, but they're like under the radar hot though. I didn't even know Martin Jones was that.
Nope. I'm with you.
I like the team that we have. Then if we're putting out picks like that.
Thank you, Mac.
Appreciate it.
One of us taking a look around the league. Appreciate it.
Looking around the goal.
But we don't pay attention around the league. We pay attention to the Toronto Maple Leafs because that's what we do here. Welcome to the GTA, or just outside of GTA.
Yeah, the surrounding GTA area.
They are struggling a little bit. Not a lot. Like they're struggling to score, I find, which is strange for this team. What they've been under Keefe.
Bit by the injury bug as well.
Sure,
that's throwing them out. I think what the issue is, maybe there's a lot of changes coming in. You're trying to change head coach to get into a new system, as well as you're having some players go down, and like Martyr was down for a bit.
Yeah.
Kerfoot's been dealing with some injuries even, and like those are obviously like their impact to the team is way differently. But like if you lose pretty much at this point, if you lose any of those players, like that's a big impact to that system and trying to figure it out, especially while changing with the new coach. So
yeah,
I think you're kind of seeing a little bit of that as well. And I mean, it's a Toronto market, man. You can't fail here.
No, and that's just it, right? Like they haven't they've been okay. They haven't been great, but like if you look at what they've done since Keefe's been here, if you take away the start that Hutchison had, they're 4-2 under Keefe with Freddie in the net.
Yeah,
and
that's where.
Look at the games they've played. Like they played a really good Coyotes team and won, and then they played an incredible.
Sorry, I'm not buying that Coyotes team crap. I don't think they're a good team.
They're so good, dude.
No,
they're
man,
so
dude. They're
sitting second in their division. Man.
I'm not believing it. It doesn't matter.
They're a really good team,
right? But isn't San Jose their division that like was struggling and now on a roll? Vancouver, Vegas. Vegas is now figuring it out.
They have 36 points.
Right, but it's a little bit of a.
They're good. Either way, good team. They beat them. They play Colorado. They beat them. Then they go to Detroit, which not a big deal, but they slaughtered them. Like they did what they should. Then they split a home and home with Buffalo. Like Buffalo, as bad as they've been recently, they're still.
Buffalo's always that team I feel that the Leafs will just split games with. Like you shouldn't. It's almost like when the Jays play Tampa. Yeah, when the Jays play Tampa Bay, it's like we shouldn't be in the same league, but yet here we are.
Yep, exactly. And they split it. Whatever. They took one of them. They took the game that Freddie started, which makes sense. And you lost a game where your piece of Swiss cheese and net decided that his glove didn't work. So yeah, okay, you take
Maybe
a loss
he needs
there.
to switch hands. Maybe he's back. Maybe he's realizing he
Sure.
actually needs the
Yeah, it
the
kind of
regular
looked
old
like
man.
it, to be honest, because that was a mess. We'll get to him in a second. I think I forgot to write him down. And then you come back and you play Philly, who's been hot as hell. They've won
Okay,
5 in a row now.
that Philly game though looked a lot worse than it actually was because
Yeah,
after that empty net, all of a sudden
everyone just
Philly
gave
was
up.
like Philly, but no, not even that. Philly was also like, we're just gonna slam things home. That's
Yep.
it. We didn't even care. And the JVR goal, like, absolutely great, like ridiculous goal.
Yeah.
Not needed. That's
No,
such a
no.
whatever. Like,
You're piling on at this
it's
point.
just
And
because
like
that's your old team.
realistically, if you take that game and you take out the last 2.5 minutes, the Leafs weren't that bad, man. They
No.
outplayed them in the first. They outplayed them
Yeah.
for the first half of the second, and then they lost it a little bit.
Carter Hart's good
And
though, man.
Carter Hart's an incredible goalie.
Freaking
He
field.
held him in there until Philly came around, and Philly's
I
not.
hope that he actually like. I hope that he brings back the confidence that
Yeah,
people had for goalies, like for drafting goalies high and for
yeah,
like having them come in
because
the
it
net.
worked.
Because now, like nobody has any faith in taking a goalie. Like, okay, remember Spencer Knight just got picked by Florida, and how many people lost their mind because they're like, "Whoa, goalie this early? What are you doing?" But it's
Yeah,
like, dude, maybe they trust it that much that they are willing to say, "Hey, this pick is this kid." And
yeah,
yes, you have
I
3
love it.
years now, 4 years. Bobrovsky will work, maybe not work, whatever. We'll
Yep,
figure it out. Doesn't matter.
yep,
Like, but I Carter Hart looked good, and the
yeah.
Leafs just
They,
don't. Even in Colorado, like even in that game last night,
yep,
I don't know, man. They gave up a lot of easy looks. Like the
yeah.
goals, the two
They
goals
struggled a
were
bit,
easy,
but
right?
I think they outplayed Colorado last night. Like they were really good last night, but they couldn't
They don't
score.
they don't
For,
capitalize the way
no,
Colorado does. Like,
Grubauer stood on his head. He
oh,
made
absolutely.
38 saves. Like he had a good
Yeah,
game. It's like
they've got the
sometimes you're gonna get beat.
confidence too,
Yeah,
right? Like they've got that momentum that we're the hot team. They carried it from last year too,
yeah,
which like to get beat out last year in the playoffs, like as a young team, that didn't even phase them.
no,
And then to lose like realistically one of your defensive like captains for a while, like Tyson Barrie was like
yeah.
drafted
He was a leader in that
and
locker room.
absolutely, and then to trade him for Naz, and then now you still keep that and you're just firing away still like
Yeah,
nothing.
Kale McCarr's coming out looking gross. Like
Oh man,
it's a good team. Like they're gonna contend for the Stanley Cup this year, and
yeah,
you outplayed
especially
them.
when they trade for Taylor Hall. Holy shit.
Yeah, we'll get to that because holy.
It's pretty
Um,
much okay. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute because I think
yeah,
it's a race of first round picks between two
yeah,
teams,
yeah. But
and
this is a good team, and the Leafs lost back to back to two really good teams. Like
but they're supposed to
Philly
be.
won 5 in a row. Yeah,
Hey, but you can't lose. You can't lose to Philly. I'm sorry. Like you're not in a team where you're losing to Philly.
Philly's really
Philly
good
is
this
like a. I get that, but
like it's not this is what I'm saying. Like
but
yeah,
you're
you'd like to have a win in that game, but
but you can't lose. You can't lose that way to Philly. You can't
no.
lose like
It's a tough loss, and you don't like to see what happened in the end. But realistically, they were good for stretches of that game, and I think you take away some of the good, and you look and see what you need to fix. And I think they did a decent job of fixing what they needed to fix before that Colorado game. And you get a guy like Marner back, and things start to click a little more. And I think once they put it all together, it's not going to take that long, man. Their stretch of their next little stretch of the schedule, it's not that strong. They have the Blues, and then they have a few weak matchups in there. And I think you take most of those games and you're fine. You're back in it, and it's not really that big a deal. They had a tough stretch of
but
games, and they
but
won what they should.
they need to really. I think they need to address that backup goaltending
Sure, sure,
stat as you can though, because that's
yeah,
where they're gonna fall, right? You can't like in that stretch. You have to have room for Freddie to have a game that isn't Freddie,
yep,
or you also have to have room for a game that like Colorado, where you're saying you're winning most of this game, and every time that you go to like you just aren't capitalizing. The other
no,
goalies
yeah,
saving everything, and then they're capitalizing their chances. Like, but right now there isn't that room.
yep,
It's must wins, and that's the problem is that you don't leave room to get upset by the teams that you're supposed to win on. So then it makes upsetting the teams that you're not supposed to win that much harder,
yeah.
and
Um,
that much more pressured. Like I don't hate the way this team is built inside.
no,
I
I think it's really
you
good.
truly believe trust in yourself, trust in your system.
Yep,
But the one thing they do absolutely need is backup goaltending because there's none of that in this system, and that
I
is true. Like that's
I
really
put
only what's hurting.
less. I think I put less into the backup goalie than everyone else is putting into it right
But
now. But yeah, it would help. I'm sure.
but does the
I
backup
mean,
goalie even have a win yet?
no, he sucks. And I think you send him down, you give Kaskisuo another shot because he played in front of an absolute garbage, or behind an absolute garbage team, sorry. And I think you give him another shot, see how that looks, and if that doesn't work, then maybe you're in a little bit of trouble. But James Myrtle of The Athletic tweeted out last night, it was kind of funny. He goes, maybe the Leafs just go full 95, 96 St. Louis Blues and run Grant Fuhrer out there for 79 games.
Just have him
I'm
go.
like, yeah, why not? Let's just run Freddie. Let's just run Freddie.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. If he can handle it, why not?
Yeah. The Leafs just need to act fast because, like, how many other teams have backup issues right now? Right? Or how many other teams have, like, goalie issues? So that's where it's almost like everybody's looking, and then...
Yeah. The problem is they can't afford it. And I'm not taking away from this roster to try and upgrade my backup goalie, and that's the only way you can do it. Yeah. So it's like, you know what? It's just something we're going to have to live with. Maybe you call up Kaskisuo. Hopefully he's good. If not, I mean, what are you going to do, man? Like, the backup goalie situation sucks. Yeah, like, the backup goalie situation sucks. Sorry, you're going to have to live with it. Like, maybe you'll get a few wins out of him. I don't need him to win every game.
But you do need him to win.
Go 500 for the rest of the year.
But he needs to win some. That means, but to win 500 now, though, he's got to win the next.
I don't care if he goes 500 for the season. I just want him to go 500 for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season.
Yep.
That's a big if. I get that. Fine. You need him to, though. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think Kaskisuo can do it. I don't think Hutchison's the guy because, oh my God. Like, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And
they're too good this year.
I
don't get it. He looks so much slower. Like,
that game against Buffalo, like, he let in 5 total because it was 3 or 4 soft ones. And I'm like, I get it. There's some good shooters on that team, but like, holy shit.
But they're not
put your gloves somewhere, man.
Dude,
like,
they're Buffalo.
You got to make one of those, at least one.
Although like Buffalo just dominated. I forget who Buffalo dominated last night, but like, they have those nights. Absolutely.
Yeah, Jack Eichel, top of the circle. Like, I get it, he's Jack Eichel, but like, come on, man, you got to be having one of those far side glove. I'm like, okay. And then Skinner comes in, does the same thing.
I mean, I think Freddie had that happen to him last night, though. McKinnon was pretty McKinnon is from like underneath the spot, the dot, and it's like, that's probably gonna go in on 99.9% of goalies. It doesn't matter who you are.
This is what I mean. It wasn't Nate McKinnon taking a shot there. It's Jack Eichel from the far side of the ice, nearly the top of the circle, and it's like, he's good. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you give him that one, but then Jeff Skinner's doing it too, and Victor Olofsson's doing it. Well,
Jeff Skinner's a sniper, right?
Yeah, right. And then
40 goals last year. Now he'll have maybe 14.
The last goal they scored, I don't even remember who it was, but like, he just opens his legs like, I don't even want to make a reference on that, but just like, here you go, wide open, take it, and he just like, just bad. He's not an NHL quality goalie, and that's all there is to it. Call up someone different, hope for the best. I'm kind of sick. I'm sick of hearing about the backup situation. Honestly, I get it.
That's nothing you can do. That's the issue.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. There's no sense.
You can blame Cody Ceci and backup goalies. That's it.
Yep. There's no sense in complaining about it because realistically, there's nothing we can do.
And Mitch Martin. Martin for taking money. That's it. Yeah. Those are the 3.
If he took $500,000 less, there's so many guys you can go after, but there's not.
But nope.
He didn't. So here we are. Whatever. It happens. Jason, did you see the game last night
against
Colorado?
Yeah, I watched the highlights today.
Did you see the game winning?
Yeah, the Jason Spezza. I'm just gonna stand here.
That's a tough look for Spezza, but
I get the intention. I don't know. I don't get.
I see what he's trying to do. It just didn't look very good.
But like, I think he realized, because he's also once he got to it, he realizes like, oh wait, Riley's here. Like, okay, so I'm just gonna stand and let him move. And I don't think he really realizes that was it Nishkushkin or whatever.
Nishkushkin?
Yeah, him. There you go. Yeah. He's there, and it's like he's gone.
It was not pretty.
And then you can't reach that. And they were on the power play, so you're already dead tired. Riley's probably been out there.
Yep. Riley didn't look very good last night either.
No.
The funniest takeaway last night. They moved Cody Ceci to the third pairing, which I've been saying for months. Yeah. And like, Cody Ceci's a decent third pairing defenseman. I've said
he made a good stop last night. I remember that.
There were 2 guys that were plus last night. You know who they were?
Cody Ceci
and Travis Dermott.
Nice.
That third pairing. I'm
works.
like,
it works.
Uh-huh. I'm like,
it works.
Everyone else was either 0 or minus. I'm pretty sure Riley was -2 because why not? I'm like, atta boy.
Well, I mean, he's out there on the. They had a power play goal with McKinnon, so yeah, he's there.
And the empty netter where he gave it up. So yeah,
right, he's out there, yeah.
yeah. So not great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a rough look for Riles, and he has not been very good this year. He needs to step it up a little bit, but what are you gonna do? He's had a boat anchor.
Everybody's just feeling that pressure again.
Sure.
That's
yeah.
Toronto market pressure. The
Yep.
heat's on. We have everybody. We're signed in, and
everyone's so goddamn negative about this team. It's just like, oh,
right now the
playoffs.
boat's kind of popping holes a little bit, and you're trying to patch them up, and some people are just ripping them out, saying,
Toronto media is like, no,
yeah, no, they're holes. This is where it is.
Like, it's relax. This team's good. They've got a roster that's literally been in the playoffs for 3 straight years.
Yeah, everybody's been struggling now. Teams that should be making it aren't. Like, there's Tampa Bay's in the same sort of boat, outside looking in. Pittsburgh was on the outside looking in. San Jose's making a push. Like, all these teams that we're so accustomed to being in there, they're not at the moment, right? Buffalo started out as one of the hottest teams. Now where are they? They're on their way down. Montreal, like,
teams hit streaks, man. Like, it's fine. We're not that far out, and it's December.
At the All-Star break,
3 months left.
At the All-Star break, if we are still sixth place outside looking in, and Tampa's still in the same position, and absolutely, throw me some panic there. Yeah, but right now we still have tons of time to figure it out.
It's still too early to be like, oh, we're out of it. No, man, we're 2 points back. Yes, we have games in hand, but it's 2 games in hand. Relax. The team's fine. Whatever. It's stupid. Andreas Janssen was hurt last night. I don't think there's an update yet. Did you look? I didn't find anything. Took a puck to the foot. Didn't look great, but
could just be a stinger though.
Yeah, he left the game. It was in the second, I believe. Late in the second period. So yeah, it could just be one of those things. You're taking it easy. You're not sure. Could be fine. No update. If he's out, I don't think it's a huge deal because you have a ton of winger depth, and it's whatever.
There always seems to be a guy to fill that kind of speedy spot. I don't think you're really the issue isn't with those guys being hurt as much as
when you lose. Stars. It's when you lose guys like Tavares and Marner.
When those guys go down, because I think we have enough of the
depth,
bottom 9, let's say.
Yeah. The middle guys.
Yeah, the middle guys.
I would say Janssen's a depth guy, but he's not.
No, but I'm saying
he's your first line guy. I know what you're saying.
He wouldn't be everybody's first line guy, but he's he's a bottom 9 guy.
He's
he can
on the first line.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's not technically a first line guy.
No, that's what I mean. If you were to have a whole bunch of league players, you wouldn't put.
This gives you a chance to try a bunch of things too. Like they tried Marner in that spot last night, which was kind of cool, and I think they should run with that. But who knows?
The whole Marner Matthews.
I like Marner Matthews Nylander because it's a lot of fun.
Right.
But
so you just we got an alarm. Wake up. It's 12:46.
That's what they ran last night. It looked kind of good at times. So
it's gonna be it'll be really fast.
It'll be fun. It's worth a shot. See how it goes. I mean, why not?
Put the kids together.
Yeah, have some fun with it.
Yeah, trust me. I'm from a team where we love to just do power lines every once in a while. Our lines change pretty much on a daily basis. So I'm used to seeing it all. And when the kids all play,
we can get to them in a second. The last piece of information on the Leafs was Nick Shore was placed on waivers.
Picked up by the peg again, man.
Whatever. I didn't really like Nick Shore to begin with.
I know. I think I remember that. I just remember us talking a lot about him and that whole debate. But I was also surprised that because Nick Batan went through waivers also.
Well, he didn't have to clear.
Oh, he didn't have to clear it. Okay. Yeah, see, that's where I was confused because I was like, Winnipeg would have picked up. I thought Winnipeg would have picked up him.
Yeah, no,
more than Nick Shore. But I guess I don't really know Winnipeg's situation in their category if they're hurting that bad. Yeah, I guess
their D core is hurting. Their offense is bad.
So you pick up a center, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Or a forward.
Yep. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. But hey,
did you actually hear about that whole Bufflin thing? Quick note about it. So he actually signed at the end of the year, I think, or the beginning of this year, that he was cleared to play medically.
Oh, okay.
And so when you sign that paper, you can't be so what they were saying is that he wasn't cleared.
Oh.
And because he
no,
signed it saying that he was good, now there's like this big debate that his contract should count and all that.
Yeah,
And,
it's a mess legally. There's been no update in the last
but the
2 weeks.
NHL is a mess legally, so that's okay.
Holy.
Oh, yeah.
First step on that.
Great segue.
Thank you. Mark Crawford. He's Chicago?
He was assistant coach Chicago right now.
Yeah.
Not where these allegations happened, not where this all took place, but he is part of our system right now. Absolutely.
It's not new news on Mark Crawford. I think everyone knows he's not the nicest guy or nicest coach, we'll say. I think he's a really good guy. Like, he does a lot of stuff for like the hockey community, but he's also a tough guy to play for, and it's been known. I think Sean Avery was the first one to come out and say it, but like, he was physically abusing players, and that was backed up by Sheldon Kennedy, I believe it was, who wrote a book about Patrick O'Sullivan.
Okay.
I think it was Patrick O'Sullivan.
Who
wrote the book on like all of his struggles and with abuse and all that.
Yep.
And so the Blackhawks doing their due diligence, they're looking into it, and they I don't know if they suspended him. Or they just told him not to come to the games while the investigation is ongoing, which good for them. It needs to be looked into, and if action needs to be taken, then action needs to be taken. And what are you going to do? I think it's good. It's good to see that they're taking action on some of these guys doing things.
It's kind of almost like when all the celebrities happen, when
the Me Too movement.
And now it's sort of NHL happening as like everybody's like, hey, by the way, which I get it, and I don't know, it's not really like, I wouldn't say you're not surprised.
No, but, there's guys like that.
Yeah, I guess it's just now that if you have strength in numbers, then
yeah.
You're gonna
I'm fine with it. If this is the way he is, then you know what? If he's causing this much turmoil on guys, then he doesn't need a spot on your coaching staff.
Nope. Got to the point we need to investigate, get him out of there.
Yep. Sticking with the Hawks.
Hawks.
They're
doing well.
Like, I love how everyone complains about the Leafs cap situation. But they're not the only team in the league that have cap problems.
Okay, but like win 3 cups in the last X amount of years,
that's fine. That's fine. I'm not even just saying that the Hawks.
But that is our green card, though, right? Because like LA, same deal. You have aging players that don't do it. Like you get this little card that goes, hey, by the way, like we've been cup players for a little while, we're good to go. Like it's a veto card.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
But
the Hawks aren't alone either.
No,
the Hawks are just the only. They dressed 11 forwards in 6D the other day because they don't have enough guys.
We don't have the
like
room yet.
This is not a Leaf issue. This is happening around the league.
League-wide issue I thought it was last year, maybe the year before. No, probably last year though. That everybody thought the cap was supposed to go up, like jump, and it didn't. It went like everybody thought it was supposed to do like this big jump, and it like maybe like shuffled just like slightly to the right. Like everyone was like, "Holy crap!
Yeah,
what do we do?"
Everyone prepared themselves for it, and they stocked up on guys, and now they can't afford these guys.
But now though, like with Seattle coming in, that's gonna help.
Hopefully the cap goes up.
And also, though, I know with Chicago, their 2 goalies are free agents. Yeah. So that's 10 mil off the cap right there.
Yep.
So I'm quite all right with that.
I think Chicago can fix their situation. The Leafs can fix their situation. It's not something that's that.
But it's always tough, man. Like, because what is it? Chicago pays $21 million for 2 players. Leafs pay about $33 million for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's tough right there. To wiggle things around, and you have to have players that come in saying, you know what, let's take less money and win. Like almost like the Nate McKinnons as we read today. Yeah, like taken. I don't care. Like I get paid what I thought was good.
There's not a lot of guys that are like Nate McKinnon though.
No, but he's also like an East Coast small town. Like just loves the game.
He just loves hockey.
Right? And that was even
Old Harbor boy.
Him and Crosby said the exact same thing in their interviews. I found is that like when it comes to money, that they wanted security. They wanted to make sure that they were playing in the NHL, and money, as long as it was a comfortable dollar sign that that everyone was happy with, then they were fine. And it also meant you could bring in players, right?
Yep.
Like Crosby was able to keep Letang and Malkin there, and then Fleury up until that draft. Like how many other stars? Kessel came in on the deal, like even though he took less money, obviously from the Leafs. Thank you. But like how many other players have they had to come through there, right? And Crosby's making $8 million, whatever it is. Like, and at the time it was pretty big money, but he knew when that thing Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. Like I think it's
No.
12% of the cap or something like that at the time.
Now
Which
it was like, now what is it? It's not even,
it's
man.
not,
He
yeah,
makes
it's not
like,
that bad. He's like middle of the pack among stars. Like it's
dude,
not.
Matthews makes more than him. Like
Mhm.
that's
But Matthews is only like I think it's like 1.2% more than what
right. But
Sid
Crosby's
signed at.
giving you 2 Stanley Cups, 2 gold
Yep.
medals, like
Yep.
multiple.
Yeah. Don't.
Like this is what I
Yeah.
mean. And so
He's Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby revolutionized
Yeah.
what
You
we
need
like
you
hockey
need some
today.
buy-in from guys, and you don't always get it.
Yeah.
And like even Washington, like Ovechkin took, I think it was like 16% of the cap. It's like 16.8 or something like that.
Right.
Like not all the stars have the Nate McKinnon attitude.
No.
And you're gonna have to pay some of these guys.
Right.
And it happens. It's happened to a lot of teams. So I mean, maybe let's not worry about the cap so much. That's all I'm saying. I mean, we're not alone in the league.
No, it's tough to work around. Absolutely. I wish
Sure.
this was almost like baseball, where you could just say, you know what, there's a cap, absolutely, but I'm just gonna take more. We'll take more money. We'll pay you more money to take these players.
I'll pay the luxury tax. Thanks.
Love
just give me everyone.
Dude, that's why I love baseball. Like for that aspect. Yeah, just come our way. We will pay you. The Leafs, can you imagine how much money gets pumped into that team?
Yep.
How much money we could just spend?
I love it.
Would spend?
Yep, because they have tons of cash. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
One man with a lot of cash signed a ticket over. I think it was this year. Evander Kane.
Right.
Evander Kane is losing a bit of cash.
Right.
After he was fined for his elbow. I don't even remember who it was on, but it was against the Washington Capitals.
Yep.
It's fair. I don't think it was deserving a suspension, but yeah,
no,
the fine makes sense.
Ryan Johansson got $5,000 as well for his elbow on Braden Point, like same sort of deal. I think like a hit was going to be made. They put their elbows up. I'm happy they didn't suspend him for more, like, because I know it's Evander Kane and you could easily just like justify it.
Sure. But, repeat offender, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's his name on it, but just give him the fine.
He didn't deserve it. I think the funniest part of the whole thing, did you see the clip where Joe Thornton and Tom Wilson were yipping back and forth?
Oh no, were they?
It was a good like 35-40 second clip of Joe and Wilson going at it, but Jumbo Joe goes something along the lines of like, if he was still here, he'd put you to sleep or something like that. And Tom Wilson goes, yeah, at least I got a ring. Like, oh, boom.
Wow. All right.
Nice. It's not wrong.
Fair. Yeah.
Like,
Tom Wilson. Yeah. Yep. He also got a pay raise because of that ring, but hey.
Yep. So, I mean, yeah, he's Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson's right. I'll give him that. It's a really good clip.
Yeah. But like when you look back on history and you go like Tom Wilson, Joe Thornton.
Oh, you're thinking.
You love Jumbo Joe. Yeah. You're thinking like, man got his beard ripped out. It still kept like just.
He's not wrong. He's still got a ring and Joe doesn't. I'm like, that's fair. It's a really good clip. If you go,
you think that starts like a bit of a rivalry then between like this little hit? It starts like a little bit of like animosity.
They don't play each other enough for it to be like a serious rivalry. But yeah,
I mean, Tom Wilson is the type of guy to remember. Like
yeah, so is Evander Kane, right? Evander Kane and Ryan Reeves still have that thing going on.
Even Joe Thornton, I don't even think Joe Thornton's wanted to back down. Like we've seen him.
No, he was pissed off at Kadri for
ripping
3 years.
Yeah, ripping his beard.
What are you gonna do? It happens. Yeah, they could be. I think the next time they play each other, it'll be a lot of fun. But they just don't. I don't think they play each other enough for it to be a continued rivalry. Yeah, but it'll be fun. It's a fun story to watch. The most fun story to watch in the NHL has been Taylor Hall and what the hell the Devils are doing.
Okay. Here's my theory, though.
Okay, go for it.
You're gonna have to give up 2 firsts.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I think
that's
what Shiro wants.
That's what they're gonna want, absolutely.
Sure, but I don't think.
What you can do is, if you're, let's say, so my 2 teams, I think you goes to are either Colorado or Edmonton, which I think are pretty easy teams to say. But with Edmonton,
hilarious if he goes back to Edmonton.
But here's the thing, though, is you can actually convince him to stay at Edmonton again because he signed that original deal in Edmonton and then was traded. Yeah. So you've already he's already shown that he loves the city, and with Connor McDavid there and Leon Draisaitl there, and even Nuge still sitting around there, Clefbaum's still hanging around. You go back to Green and you just laugh and you're like, "Wow, that was funny." Welcome back to the same team. Like,
I mean.
And then
do you think there's any animosity there? Given I know Chiarelli's gone, but like, do you think it's?
I think that's where it was though. Was that they got impatient. They got to a point where other teams were giving them things that like they needed to make moves on, and I think it was just an impatient, and like how many times did we see the joke was we're watching Peter Chiarelli's kid grow up with first round picks. Every time that Peter Chiarelli walked up, he brought his son up there, and his son would age every year, and you would see him, and he's getting older and older as these kids get drafted.
Yeah.
Like I get older and they stay the same. That's what it was. That is what this kid is experiencing.
It gave us a chance to see the growing up of Peter Chiarelli's son, and
but that was
got to grow up on stage in front of our eyes.
Positive was his son. Like like I know there was a kid up there that was, and so then they panicked, and then they traded. They made the worst trade first.
Man, that still doesn't make any sense. But
and then you follow it up with another one by getting rid of Jordan Everly.
Yep.
But
they went over.
Right. Sure. But also though, like you value a center more than a winger. I'd say like for them, I think they valued having Nugent Hopkins at the center position more than the wingers and thought that was more like easily replaceable.
Yeah. If I'm Taylor Hall though, that's not a place I want to be in the future. Like yes, McDavid's a thing. I understand. Dude. Incredible hockey
so
player.
Even for this year though, if you go this year and let's say because those two are already they're at 50 points now, aren't they?
I think they're like close.
20, yeah. I know that they're at the 50.
Buzzing.
But it's like so we're 26-ish games, high 20s.
51 each. So
right. So above 50.
I think the next
Taylor Hall, you're looking for a big payday. I'm going to go hop on this wagon.
Yeah.
Get myself an extra
pretty
20 sure points than what I would have got.
The next closest guy on that team, too, is Zach Cassian with like 21.
Yeah, you know why? Because Zach Cassian just gets like the open. Everybody flocks to those two, and Zach Cassian, everyone forgets that he actually has a wicked shot. Dude.
Yep. He scored a goal the other day. I think it was against Vancouver.
Yeah.
Just a rifle.
I saw that. I was like, oh, even I said that actually in the show. I was like, Cassian, and I love his look too. He's really just giving into the goon look. But he's a sniper.
He's got a shot. It's just hilarious. It's like 51, 21, 21.
That's what they wanted from Lucic, right? Like that was supposed to be the Milan Lucic, and you got it at a discounted price. Oh my god, and a way better shot. Yep.
It's Lucic but cheaper.
Right, and then you can have James Neal flex to a different line where it's like, oh yeah, you're a big shooter too.
19 points from James Neal after that like ridiculous.
I know. I was gonna say he had that stretch and now he's coasting, right? But also, okay, who'd your brother meet at Beards and Hearts?
Taylor Hall
and
James Neal. Put them together. Good friends. Yeah.
It's like a match made in heaven. It's already there. The writing.
Sure. But if I'm Taylor Hall, I'm looking at this team. It's like your defense sucks.
Right, and yet you're locked into a goalie.
You're locked into a goalie that's
he's good now. Seen Mikko Koskinen's numbers?
He's good now.
Then ride that this year.
Do you look at Mikko Koskinen and go, yeah, this is our goalie of the future? Because I don't.
Okay, but he's the goalie of right now.
But but I'm not signing long term there if that's the case.
But I'm just saying, then hop in for this year, man, and get yourself that extra.
He won't have a choice. That's the thing is he doesn't have a no trade clause.
No, absolutely.
Like he can decide that he doesn't want to go to the Oilers.
Right. So but Colorado.
The thing is, I don't know if 2 first-round picks is.
Okay, but when I say
so much.
Okay, but also though, when I thought about it, was Colorado with the first-round pick is their just recently drafted defenseman first. Yeah, exactly. That is where, so you group that in with a first round pick that handles New Jersey's glaring defensive issues. Sure. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Especially with the next item on our list.
I don't know if I give up on Byram if I'm
I mean, you're kind of stacked back there. You're pretty set with Cale Makar, and you're getting Taylor Hall.
You're depth
and you also have dude, but you get Taylor Hall.
Sure, but
and you can convince Taylor Hall to stay too.
They have a lot of prospects they could deal from though. Like they have other guys in the.
I don't think this trade gets done with Taylor Hall unless he agrees that this is where he's going to stay. I don't think any.
Sure, I think that's the big. They're not letting teams talk to his agent to see what the interest is. So I don't think this trade happens anytime soon. And I think if it does, and they're asking for 2 first-round picks, one of them at least is going to have to be under the condition that he resigns. Because if I'm any team in the league, I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks for a rental.
No.
regardless of how good that rental is, and I don't even know if I can
absolutely.
say Taylor Hall is still Taylor Hall anymore, so I don't even know what that rental is going to look like, because yes, he's on a bad New Jersey team right now, so maybe he's better than what he's showing.
They don't even have anybody, man. Like Jack Hughes
they're kind of, he's been struggling.
Like, hurt. Yeah, he's hurt too,
Yeah.
a little bit. Like PK Subban is a liability. He needs to just switch to forward already. Like I don't know why he's making this.
Nikita Gusev isn't what they thought he'd be.
No.
Wade Simmons has been awful.
Yeah. Their
Paul
power
Mary's
play,
okay.
dude, their power play is, I'm pretty sure it's all right-handed shots. I said it before, and that is so easy to game plan against when you have Taylor Hall not even on his, I'm pretty sure Taylor Hall's not even on his offside. Like, he's on his right side, so he can't even take the shot. Like, or it was all left-handed shots, whatever it was. They were all one-handed, and it was, like, crazy. Because, like, you can defend that. Every one-timer's coming from this side.
You know the one-timer's over there, and you can guard the wrister on the other side. It's fine.
Yes, it's just...
Yeah.
But you have to take that chance on Taylor Hall, though, man. He's a former, like, he's a Hart winner. Like, that's it.
Former is a big key thing for me. I think if you can get that deal where it's 2 firsts, one of them under the condition that he resigns, and then you just don't resign him, then I think if you're Colorado, you take that deal, because
I think that goes to a second. Like, the condition will go if he doesn't resign.
Yeah, which
it falls to a second.
A first and a second for Taylor Hall. I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks, done deal.
Okay.
Because I'm not re-signing Taylor Hall at 8 years at 30, 28, 29. I'm not signing him for eight years at that number. I just think he's on the downside of his career.
Colorado might. Colorado may rejuvenate. It depends on how well he does in this new system. I think those two teams are interested in him and keeping him long term. They fit. They need that extra, like, that Taylor Hall piece. I think that puts a lot more at ease.
If you're Colorado, though, you know that McKinnon, like, as much as he's going to take a team-friendly deal, it's still going to be $8 or $9 million. Right. And so he's going to get
that's in how many years, man? He still has 3 years. McKinnon still has 3 years left on this deal. So, like,
that's going to be it's going to be within the time that you have Taylor Hall. So it's like it's one of those things you got to game plan for, because Cale Makar's another one too, and I don't think
Taylor Hall is asking for stupid money. I don't think he's asking for over the top money. I think if it's a chance to win, he's been in 2 organizations now that are failing, and
I don't know.
I think his want to win may exceed, especially if he goes to a team like Colorado and has that success.
Yeah,
and feels that, like, that chemistry together. They look like a team. Like, that's why it doesn't matter who's in that lineup, who's beside McKinnon. It's a team. It's the same as Boston, man. You could argue, they are a team.
They're a team. Ottawa's a team.
Ottawa is a team. They push other teams to
Ottawa slaughtered Edmonton last night.
Right.
They're a team.
Exactly. Because Ottawa is just a team that works hard.
Gross. Yeah, it'll be a fun situation to watch come trade deadline day. I don't think anything happens with Taylor Hall until then, though.
I don't know, man.
Call me crazy, but it's just
if I want to win, though, I'm pulling the trigger first. I make the call.
Sure, but
his name is always like, he is a hot commodity this year.
That asking price right now is astronomically high, and I think you need to wait just to be like, you know what, nobody's taking that deal, man. So here's what we're gonna offer you, take it or leave it. And I think there's gonna be a lot of those deals from different teams, and I don't think anyone's looking at this deal and being like, yeah, let me give up 2 firsts and a prospect and an NHL ready guy
because it's a rental, right?
Yeah,
realistically.
Even 3/4 of the season, I'm like, yeah, that's a lot, man. You're mortgaging the future for 3/4 of a season. And what if he gets hurt? Anything like that, right? Like, he's fresh off of injury as it is. Like,
what did we watch? Like, I'm just kind of thinking also where, like, Columbus threw together a ragtag team, and, like,
don't get me wrong.
Maybe the same idea, though. Like, if one team starts to slip, like, what if San Jose, right? For example, San Jose is trying to get in.
Yep.
And they've always been a team that somehow has their hand in every single, like,
the trade deadline.
Dude, love the trade deadline. So who's to say again they're not like, oh, Taylor Hall, hey,
let's dabble. Yeah, no,
I this way. Yeah,
I can see it happening at the trade deadline. Don't get me wrong. Right. I don't see it happening before then. Is my thing. It's just the price is way too high right now.
Yeah,
you gotta wait till that comes down a little bit.
I guess we'll see then.
Sticking with the Devils.
Subban?
Yeah.
Sucks.
Stinks.
Is that it? Like, we know that. He's done. He's over. He needs to be a forward.
15 straight games without a point, though.
You know why? Because he needs to be a forward.
Right.
If he was a forward,
a little closer than that.
If he was a forward, he would have really no issues. Honestly, if he was a center, oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh man, love it. Play your minimal defense, play your maximum offense. Love it. Go ahead. Be that guy.
I see a lot of Leaf fans like, oh, the Leafs should find a way to bring in Subban. It's like, no.
We don't have problems on the forward end.
I'm like, we don't need him
There's
to be
a packed house up there. Yeah,
minus 30 for the Leafs. He's doing fine. Just leave him there.
I don't want to do it.
If you don't like
mechanic situation where you really got your Montreal jersey underneath it, no, thank you.
If you don't like Cody Ceci, let's not pay another Cody Ceci.
Let's not double our money.
$9 million.
There you go, yeah.
No, thanks.
I don't think that's the name. I think people just find a name, say a name.
Yep.
PK Subban. Oh, he's struggling. Oh, Leafs are struggling. That's good. Let's struggle together.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's a mess. Toronto. Stop.
But you could be New Jersey. New Jersey is a mess, right?
They're worse.
Blackwood, I'm
you
not.
Think we got it bad? Honestly, I would like to see Mackenzie Blackwood in Toronto. That was one thing I didn't really touch on in the backup goalie situation. I think New Jersey's going to be selling, and I don't know if they'll be selling on Mackenzie Blackwood, but the kid can play.
I know exactly.
If he's your backup goalie in Toronto. He's making what you can afford. I'm like, maybe go knocking. I don't know if they've given up on him.
Though.
Sure.
He's young. He's a goalie prospect. Going back to those goalie prospects of young kids.
But maybe they've given up on him because I know a lot of the people around the league have given up on Mackenzie Blackwood.
But they can't, man. They were also the team that signed, or they went and got Corey Schneider.
Yeah, now he's in the minors.
Exactly.
Bye.
Enjoy your remaining years.
I'm just saying, go knocking, see what the price is, because I wouldn't hate Mackenzie Blackwood as your backup.
I think it's high. I think they come back with maybe even a current young player that you've just signed.
Yeah.
Right? They might come back and say, hey, we don't talk unless it's Cap or Janssen.
Yeah. If that's the case, I'm like, okay, never mind, thanks.
But that's where it is, right? They might say
if you're
got to start with that.
We have Jeremy Bracco. Or I wouldn't give Liljegren, but there's a bunch of guys in the AHL that are really good players. Throw in a pick or two, and I'm like, here.
They are struggling right now, man. I don't think you understand. Jersey is.
Hey, they are bad. They're bad. Their goaltending situation's bad. That's kind of
their defense, or I guess their all offense style is just bad. They fired their head coach.
Not working. No. Oh yeah, we didn't even mention the fact that they fired their head coach.
But does it really matter? I didn't even know who he was. He just looked grumpy.
John Hines. I think
he looked fucking angry every 5 seconds.
I don't think you can blame John Hines for what's going on. You don't have a goalie.
You can blame PK Subban.
Yeah, your defense is bad. Your goaltending's bad.
You can blame
Nick. What do you want
for not for doing exactly what we said he would do, making the jump over, but not making the jump with the points. It's not enough, man. It's Kyle Palmieri is leading the way.
I said it in our very first episode. Not a lot of guys come over from the KHL and do well. Nope. It's rare that you see a guy succeed to the same pace that he was in the K. And Mac mentioned it, he was the leading scorer in the KHL, but the KHL's a differment league, man. They
have these guys.
They play on different size ice. They don't play the competition that you get in the NHL.
Why I don't the KHL is absolute, but when it was the Olympics year, but the Olympics when NHL players would go, when you were allowed, how many KHL players made it, right? How many European? Okay, right, but even Team Russia, where a lot of these guys are supposed to.
That's what I mean. That was the only place where I saw.
Yeah, Ovechkin, Malkin,
no,
they still are the stars. Datsuk when he was there, they're still your stars. It doesn't matter that they're it doesn't matter. The KHL guys are still not at the NHL level, at that.
They're good. They're good hockey players. They're good depth guys. No. They're not worth anything.
But they're not going to be.
Unless you're Artemi Panarin.
Find a dime in the rough, absolutely. But Artemi Panarin was a stud from they knew that. Yep. He was a name.
He came in. He's one of the few that came in and looked like he did in the K. That's great, but it just doesn't. He's a rarity. He's an outlier. He's not a consistent. This is what we're getting out of the KHL. It's no, this is. No. The opposite of what we're getting.
Artemi was a diamond in the rough.
Yep. Final note, I think. I've got nothing else after this. So there were 2 RFA situations. One of them I had no idea what was going on, but one was Jesse Puljujarvi, which is a mess in Edmonton.
Did I spell that right? I was pretty confident I got that pretty close.
I think there's an L before the second U there, but either way, he it's a mess. He doesn't want to play
if
in
you don't
Edmonton
want to come
because he
join
doesn't
this
think.
team, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to join those boys, then
Yeah,
you don't want to
there's a
join
lot
anything.
going on there.
You don't
So
want to play anywhere.
basically, they had to make a decision before December 1st on whether they wanted to trade him or try and sign him, and they did neither, which makes sense because he straight up said, like, even if I get traded, I'm probably just going to stay in Finland. Which, you know what? Sure, do you, man? Make your choice. I get it. He wants to play at home for a little bit because he's not going to play anywhere.
I remember
That's
how
fine.
hyped he was from the juniors.
Dude.
Oh,
he was
dude, that,
so good.
That line A, Pugliarvi, and then the second line was Aho was in the middle of that too. I always forget about that.
So disgusting.
And then Kapanen's on his second line. They have Olli Levy
So
still there.
disgusting.
Oh my god, this fish.
Disgusting. It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous team, I know. And then he came over because I remember that draft. Columbus had the 3rd pick, Edmonton had 4th, and they took Pierre-Luc. Yes, and everybody like lost their mind, and then Columbus is like, hold up.
Nope. Thank you.
Now Columbus is laughing their ass off because they got their starting center for the future, and
Pugliarvi is
gone to Finland.
It's a mess. But the other guy on that list was Julius Honka.
I didn't realize that, but
I had
his
no
name
idea.
popped up. Yeah, it's true though. He did not sign.
How long do we hear about William Nylander in that saga? It was every day. It's like, when will he sign? When will this? And like, I get it, we're in the Toronto market, but I had no idea Julius Honka wasn't signed.
This is just all kind of goes. I like that, I found the Nathan McKinnon comment around the same time that this is going on. Because like, dude, yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the most that I've ever seen RFAs not play hockey and choose to they'd rather sit out than take like whatever deal they could, or like a whatever it is, right? Like a bridge deal, or take less money for longer term. Like they would rather not play. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to Europe, play there for a little bit, stay in the hunt, and then sign me by December 1st or don't. I don't give a shit. I'll stay over in Europe.
I just think it's nuts that it went this deep, and I didn't even know about it until November 29th, I think it was, when I finally heard about it. Man, I there's a lot of people that I know that didn't know this was the thing, and I'm like, go play in Dallas. That media coverage sucks.
Yeah,
thank God.
They did not care over in Dallas.
That's gotta be great.
Dallas.
Imagine.
Do you really think that Dallas is a big hockey town?
No.
You have the Cowboys.
Team.
You have the Cowboys. That is just And then Mark Cuban. Doesn't even matter about the Dallas Mavericks. You have Mark Cuban.
The Mavs are meh.
It's just Mark Cuban. Yeah.
Doncic
and Porzingis. Yeah, they're good though.
But they're good. They're just the Cowboys aren't good, but they're still the biggest team in the NFL, which is hilarious.
Yep.
And as long as the Cowboys are playing, you're not going to pay attention to Dallas hockey, which is great.
Even when they have Victory Green, their mascot, Victory.
Incredible threes player. Incredible.
Best defender we've ever had.
Oh my God. Just lays bodies. Absolute cannon.
But their team is
good team.
Missing a defensive.
Now they don't have
prospect, I guess. Yeah.
Apparently now they don't have Julius Honka. Who knew? Not me. Look at us.
Might attribute to some of their struggles, I think, maybe on the defensive end then.
Yeah, but they're good now. So that's all that matters.
Are they?
Yep. They're back to being good.
That's good.
I think that's it from us.
That's it. That's all. That was an hour. That was good.
Yeah, I'm surprised we pulled an hour out of that. There's like 6 things on our list. I'm like, this is probably going to be a short episode. We like to talk, even with 2 of us.
Yeah. Who needs those? Like, this is a 2-way podcast for real.
This is like the 3rd straight 2-man thing we've done too, because Nick and I did 2 in a row.
One. Yeah.
Nick and I did 2 in a row, and then you and I are doing this one. It's just like, our commitment level not very high. We have busy lives
right now. Yeah.
We're probably gonna slow down a little bit. Yeah, and it's understandable. We'll probably.
I'm definitely not going to be podcasting on Christmas Wednesday.
No. So I'm thinking we'll probably take a break around Christmas, just while things get a little hectic. Probably around New Year's too. Yeah. So, but we'll worry about that.
Throw in a pod, maybe throw a pod in the middle of it all.
I think we've got a couple more weeks till Christmas. So, I hope you enjoyed listening to us, even though there's only 2 of us.
You better have enjoyed.
I hope so.
Don't worry.
If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I said bitten the first time. English. It's been a long day. I'm running on like half an hour of sleep because I'm an idiot. Yeah. Well, yeah. Visit DA Sports. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Support.
Cheers.